So here are some sites in East Africa that are considered to be early anatomically modern human. There's the Omo site that I mentioned earlier, and Herto is also a very famous early example of anatomically modern humans. And I'm going to show you the shapes of the skulls in the next slide, and you'll see that they are very rounded in shape. There's a high forehead and a cranium, smaller brow ridges, if any at all. So these are considered, to be modern shaped or modern looking craniums, dating to almost 200,000 years ago. Here is another version or a reconstruction of the Herto cranium. You can see the much smaller brow ridges. I mean, there is a brow ridge there, a vertical forehead, tall cranium, and a non-projecting face. So they don't have that puffy maxilla that we often attribute to species like Homo sapiens neanderthalensis or Homo heidelbergensis, the archaic humans. Here is another specimen from South Africa. This is the Klasis river mouth site, and this individual dates to 90,000 years ago, and we can see this very modern chin. So I've heard this called a mental protuberance in our open source book that I've been using in some of my classes. It's called a mental eminence. So that is defined as the chin on the mandible of modern Homo sapiens, one of the defining traits of our species. So this is just a physical feature. It doesn't necessarily mean anything. It could be, a random feature or something that's just for looks, or it could be, a sign of smaller dentition, maybe part of the mouth and the smaller teeth are receding and then the chin is left sticking out. It doesn't really matter. It's just something we look at when defining anatomically modern humans, because we all have this chin bone now, this mental eminence, as it's called. So here are a few of the South African sites. You can see the Klasis river mouth site right there on the map. Okay, moving on to the Near East. We just talked about early anatomically modern humans in Africa, and now we're in the Near East. So the sites of Skull and Qafzeh are also very famous early modern human specimens. So these sites are in Israel, and there are about 30 individuals showing modern morphology, but some are mixed and retain pre-modern features. So that is very interesting. In this area, Neanderthals lived as well, not very much longer before, not very much earlier than anatomically modern humans. So they have almost overlapped in time and space in this part of the globe. So here are those other pair of famous skulls I mentioned, Skull and Qafzeh. These specimens from Israel are thought to be representatives of early modern Homo sapiens. The vaulted forehead, or the vault height, the forehead, and lack of facial prognathism are modern traits. I'm going to show you a better look at the skull individual in the next slide. Okay, again, we can see the higher forehead, round globular skull, and a reminder, these individuals lived very nearly in the same time and same place as Neanderthals. Okay, in Asia, there are early discoveries of modern humans as well, the most significant of which are the Upper Cave at Zhoukoudian and Ordos in Mongolia, all containing fossils of fully modern humans from the late Pleistocene, dating to probably around 40,000 years ago, although the dating methods and number is controversial. One cave, the Tianwan cave, had fragments of a skull, teeth, and postcranial bones dated to 40,000 years ago. The skeleton shows mostly modern features, but a few archaic characteristics, which suggest at least some interbreeding in China with resident archaic human populations. This is the best dated early modern Homo sapiens from China and one of the 2 earliest from anywhere in Asia. Another early fossil is a partial skull from Nia Cave in Borneo, dating to approximately 35,000 years old. So here is one of the China specimens, and we can see that this person's face and head look very modern as well.